Don't worry, don't worry. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And I also want to thank the President for coming.
You have 10 minutes.
Coming to the House to fulfill his constitutional mandate. I've heard a lot of my colleagues say that the President came to lament, and I think that even if the President came to lament, he only came to continue the lamentation of the previous government, where we had their own MPs in this chamber organizing a press conference to call on the President to sack their finance minister because of the state of the nation that they were in and what they envisaged. It was not just the members of parliament who were lamenting. The people of Ghana, in their lamentation, gave them the worst result in any election in the history of the Fourth Republic. And so the President could only join in what everybody was saying. During the President's address, there were two takeaways that I would focus on, and that's the 24-hour economy and nkok, nketenkete. Mr. Speaker, I've heard a lot of my colleagues say that how are we going to create jobs through 24 hours and nkok, nketenkete? In fact, it was on the day of the SONA that I even realized that 24 hours and nkok, nketenkete, you can't hear, please pay attention. I'm teaching you a Greek. I'm going to teach you a Greek, and I will beg you to please listen carefully. It was on that day that the President told us that 55,000 homes were going to benefit from nkok, nketenkete. Mr. Speaker, Ghana imports about $300 million of poultry every year. Our national demand is about 400,000 metric tons every year. In fact, we produce only about 57,000 tons a year. Importation is about 270,000 metric tons a year. And the President, in his wisdom, has noticed that if 100 districts put together 500 beds for 5,000 homes, we will be making about 55,000 homes, raising 500 beds, a total of about 27,000 beds per cycle. And when I say cycle, I mean when you are raising broilers, from day old, that's what we call DOCs, to week 7, you complete one cycle. And so the President came and told us that in a cycle, 55,000 homes can raise 500 beds each. Mr. Speaker, this will help reduce dependency on importation. It will strengthen our food security. It will create opportunities. It will create jobs. And it will help the youth enter into agriculture. Mr. Speaker, how will this work? And how are we going to make money from nkok, nketenkete? How will this work, and how are we going to make money from nkok, nketenkete? It costs about 71 cedis to raise a bird from day 1 to 3 kilos. To raise a bird to 3 kilos, you need to give it about 4.5 kilos of feed. Every 1 kilo of feed it eats, 1.5 kilo of feed it eats against about 1 kilo weight. And therefore, before it gets to 3 kilos, you have to feed it with about 4.5 kilos of feed. This means that we have to produce a lot of maize to feed these birds, because in every kilo of feed that you feed a bird, about 60% is made up of maize, which is up to about 2.7 kilos of every 4.5 kilos of feed that you give to one bird. And so our poultry farmers, our maize farmers, this is good news that the president has given to us. According to the president, we are going to grow a lot of maize to feed a lot of birds. Mr. Speaker, apart from maize that we are going to grow to feed birds, we are also going to make a lot of manure. Ghana imports so much fertilizer. In 2023 alone, we imported over $200 million worth of fertilizer. And therefore, under the nkok, nketenkete program, we are going to get a lot of manure. In fact, every bird, and these ones are fact, every bird that you raise at 3 kilos produces about between 2 to 4 kilos of droppings in a lifetime. And this is what we call fresh manure. And when I say fresh manure, I'm talking about 70% water and 75% water, 25% dry manure. And so, under this program, nkok nketenkete, we are going to be able to produce manure here in Ghana, locally. If you, Mr. Speaker, I can go on and give you how much residue you make per acre when you grow maize and mix it with the chicken intestines and all to give you a certain tonnage of fertilizer every year. And this is what the president is telling us that we are going to do. Apart from that, the president is looking at putting money directly in the pockets of every household through this program. When you raise a bird, we sell it at what is called carcass weight. Carcass weight is 2.5 kilos per broiler. The weight is 3 kilos, but when you remove the feathers and the intestine and all of that, it will be left with what we call carcass weight. At a carcass weight of about 3 kilos, you can sell it for 90 Ghana cedis. When you subtract the 71 cedis needed to raise the bird, it will be left with about 19 Ghana cedis. Multiply by 500 birds every year. Every household under this program will be making about 9,500 every 7 to 8 weeks. This is putting direct money in the pockets of the people who voted this government to power. Apart from that, to be able to feed, apart from that, if every household employs 2 people to take care of 500 birds per cycle, what it means is that directly we are employing 110,000 people in 100 districts under this program. This does not include the retailers, the wholesalers, and many others. In fact, Mr. Speaker,
Honorable Member, just wind up.
Mr. Speaker, chicken feet, akoko nine, chicken feet is a huge delicacy in China. Akoko nine. In 2023 alone, China imported over $5 billion worth of chicken feet. And so no part of a chicken goes waste. And this is what was known as the cottage industry. Giving households beds, giving them medication, giving them feed, letting them raise the bird and buy them back from the farmers for slaughter. Mr. Speaker, we will need feed mills. We will need processing plants. We will need fertilizer processing plants. And all of these will go a long way to employ a lot of young people.
Thank you.
Nkok, nketenkete, the 24-hour national broiler project is a brilliant idea by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.